What's up, everybody, and welcome to another Nurture Nugget. Now, today we're going to talk about just starting. And what I mean by just starting, what I'm talking about here is really beginning that passion project, that thing that interests you, that you've been putting off for a while now, but you've wanted to try. And to be honest, this is what this podcast is all about, right? Inspiring and trying to enable people to actually begin the things that they've wanted to do but have shied away from in the past. I'm sure you've heard that enough times in my episodes. I've really reiterated that point because I want to ensure that the message about this podcast is very, very clear. But I thought I would just take this opportunity on this Nurture Nugget to really kind of explain again why just starting is really, really important. And I can take you through kind of my journey about how I came about just starting, because taking the initial step, taking the initial leap is probably one of the most difficult things to do because it's going and stepping into the unknown, right? Now, one of the biggest things that really helped me just start is realizing that by not starting or not pursuing that thing that I wanted to try was inhibiting my level of happiness. When you really want to try and do something, it's because you feel like there's a burning desire to try something out, to, actually fulfill something that you think will make you happy and will add value to others or yourself. And by not doing it, you'll almost feel a bit incomplete, I would say. And I think that's really unfair on yourself, simply because, look, life is very, very short. You have to be able to do the things that you want to do. And you've perhaps heard me say that in previous episodes. In fact, if you've listened, you definitely have. But it's something that I need to say again and again because it's a good reminder for myself, but also for the people who want to take that step forward initially. Now, one thing that really kind of scares people from just beginning the journey is stepping into the unknown and not knowing what the outcome is going to be. The questions that you ask yourself before you begin, are along the lines of, am I going to be able to stay consistent? Are people actually going to understand what I'm trying to do? These are the kind of things that pop up into your mind, or the fear of judgment, like I've said before. But I feel like part of the beauty of starting something is actually not knowing where it's going to go. And that can be scary, but also, like I said, very exciting because you're able to learn more about yourself on that process. And sometimes we get too hung up on the goal and the end goal that we want to achieve. And by thinking really, really far ahead, we almost just forget about the next step that we need to take, right? And by thinking about that end goal, you get overwhelmed. You're like, okay, God, what am I going to have to do to get there? And because you feel like there's so many things that you need to do, you end up not beginning, you end up not starting. And that's what really kills a lot of ideas, creativity, etc. Whereas what we really need to try and do is, yes, it's good to have goals set out, but actually just realizing the next step and learning along the way, that's what's important. You're not going to know everything. I mean, to be fair, I had a similar feeling before I started this podcast. Before I started the podcast, I was thinking, God, I'm going to have to buy this expensive camera. I'm going to have to buy an expensive mic. I need to invest in this lighting. Whereas all I actually need to do was go on Amazon and buy a mic and buy a small ring light or a lighting kit that I'm using now. And actually, I didn't have to invest in a camera. I could just use my phone. It's just that simple. And actually just breaking down those little things, those little steps really helps. So if you want to start going to the gym or something, don't think about, God, having to go every single day of the week to get to where you want. Start by, breaking it down, going three times a week, twice a week, at least just turning up to the gym sometime per week and then adding consistency. And the same system applies to, everything that you want to try. If you want to start a business, don't think about, turning over £1 million within the year. Of course not. You have to just start off with the basics. What do I need to do next to get here? Okay. And I think more and more people need to realize that it is about the process. You probably hear it a lot on social media about loving the process, but to be honest, it's very, very true. And learning that process is going to be key to actually start, building something that gets you closer towards that goal that you're aiming for. Now, that was a quick episode, but I really thought that trying to simplify and also, emphasize that message again and again is going to kind of help you take that little step just to start the little thing that you want to do. So I appreciate you guys listening. I hope you added value to yourself by listening to this episode, and I shall see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.